Double-A to Triple-A, the numbers were quite different 2 years ago to last year.
I think probably experience. I think it's a big difference. Getting adjusted. I think also just finding the rhythm and the timing, and also just trying to be healthy. I think all of those things kind of mash together.
When you look at not just this year, but just your expectations as a whole, your plan as a whole, do you put in front of yourself, okay, I want to give this 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years, and if I don't make the majors, then that's it? Or are you taking it day by day, season by season, and making decisions as you go?
I think probably a little bit of both, but more the latter, more of season by season, day by day, doing something that I love, thankful to have the opportunity to do it, pursuing that as hard as I can, working as hard as I can. And so I think that's a big part of it. And at the same time, there's a lot of other things that I love pursuing. So it's not something you want to do forever, but it's something that, while I have the chance, it's definitely something I'm passionate about and I love.
Tim, what was the injury that shut you down at the end of last year?
Unfortunately, I got hit by a baseball, and sometimes when it hits bare flesh, it doesn't like it too much, and so I tried to be, I guess, tough with it and barehand it, and my fingers didn't like it too much. So.
It's frustrating the last 2 years. You just haven't.
Was that frustrating? Yes, that was frustrating, very much so. And I didn't even know it. I picked the ball up and I threw it in. I was like, yes, we held the guy at third. And I just turning and walking back. And I just glanced at my hand. And when I saw blood kind of going everywhere, I was like, so I just turned and walked in. Tony D's like, what's going on? I show him the hand. He's like, oh, go in. Sir, that was frustrating.
The last 2 years not being able to finish, just get to the finish line had to be.
Yeah, I think what was kind of disappointing for me is just random fluke things, not something that you could change if you did more stretching or preparation or, mobility, or it's just kind of a freak thing. So that is disappointing.
Tim, it seems like you fulfilled a lot of your dreams so far in your life. What would this be like in terms of finally playing in the big leagues someday?
I think that would obviously be something that would be special, and I think another part of the dream, I think part of it's just playing every day and enjoying it and competing, which I love, and obviously that would be awesome. It'd be a lie if I said that wouldn't be super cool. Of course that would be something that would be special, but I wouldn't say it would be a success or failure if that did or did not happen.
So just taking all of the spring trainings and your various experiences, do you take a different approach this year? Are there little things you would change? Or
yes, absolutely. I think hopefully a lot of that is just growth and learning and developing as as an athlete, kind of with the skill set, but also with the mentality of learning the sport more. And it's something you did in training camps for football. Is you went through so many of them, so you learn. Okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to handle this way. I'm going to adapt. I'm going to figure things out. And for me, hopefully that's something that'll happen for me in spring training, even with mindsets and everything, sleeping schedules to where you stayed. Everything plays into that.
With so much else going on in your life, what keeps you chasing the baseball major league dream?
I think that for me, more than anything, I've tried to be someone that when I love something or I'm passionate about it, I kind of go all in for it. Hopefully that's something that anyone could see about my life, and I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's also for a time. I think there's seasons in our life that are called for different things, and hopefully this can, is a part of that season of my life. But like I said earlier, it's not something I want to do forever. There's a lot of things that I want to do that I'm also very passionate about.
For you, have you experienced doubt throughout this journey at any point?
Yeah, of course. It'd be a lie to say no. I think it's what do you do with that doubt? What do you do with the uncertainty, or what do you do when you feel like you're struggling at something? And I think that's important, because I think we all have that in our lives at places and times when we're going through things, and and ultimately a lot more important situations in sports. But I think that's when you have to go back to, why are you doing this? Are you having fun doing it? Do you love doing it? All of those things, and then have a mindset to continue to work. And so where you don't let the doubt or the uncertainty control your mind and your mentality. Because there's a lot of things in life that you get thrown into where you're uncertain about. But I think that's where faith and determination and perseverance really come into play, not when things are going really well.
Yeah, and then you traveled a lot right before you got here. Talk about that initiative and how special that is to you.
Well, there were several different initiatives. One of them was a wedding. That was nice. And then after that, we were in Albania, we were in Rome, and then we were in Paris leading up for our Night to Shine kickoff. And then we came back here to the States, and we were in New Jersey, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, finished in Tallahassee. So you know that we were trying to do the right thing if you finish in Tallahassee, because still doesn't even feel good being over there. No, it was awesome. It was incredible. You know, it was one of the biggest takeaways for me is I was in different places where I truly could not speak the language, and a lot of the people could not speak English. And so there was no way that we could communicate verbally, but we could communicate in a much deeper, more sincere way. And that was with joy, with laughter, with hugs, and with an incredible special night. And it's amazing how when you can't verbally talk to someone, but you can communicate in so much of a deeper way than most of the time I ever do here. And I think that was a big part of trying to show God's love and also experiencing it. And so probably one of my favorite parts about this year's trip of Night to Shine.
Tim, you talked last year about going around and you're doing your game day stuff, going around always finding a baseball field, finding a place
Yeah.
to play. Were you able to do that like in South Africa and Albania? Were you?
Not some of the places, but I did even send some film back from the Maldives. They don't have baseball like batting cages there, but they do have a really sweet tennis court. And so I was getting soft toss against the tennis, like the back of the tennis net. So there's some funny footage of it, and even some of the people are like, dude, just stop, So it was fun. So not everywhere, but I got a lot of places. It's cool. I look back like my junior year at Florida, leading up to that season, which we won the national championship, that off season. I don't even remember how many countries I was in. It was a bunch though. It was Philippines, Croatia, Bosnia, Thailand, a bunch of, I can't remember all of them. And it was cool afterwards. I was like, I trained in every single one of these places in some random crazy way, and and that season worked out pretty good. So hopefully all these training in different places, hopefully it can work out good too.
What was the craziest one? Was it the tennis court or something?
Probably tennis courts in Maldives, but I don't know. Our trip was so fast in the Vatican that I was thinking it would be kind of cool, run up the Vatican steps like Rocky, but I didn't. Yeah.
Who gave you the self-toss?
Well, Demi, she's a little too scared.
Yeah.
So one of the tennis instructors. Yeah.
Many of us have trouble balancing one thing, doing it well. You do broadcasting, you've got a marriage, you've got the Tebow Foundation, you've got baseball. How do you figure out a way to balance all that stuff?
I try to put my heart into everything. I try to have a lot of great people around me. Our team at the foundation is incredible. I'm so grateful for all the work that they do. It's not just an occupation. It's not just a job. It's not just a 9 to 5. It's a calling, and it's a ministry for every one of them. And that is gives me a lot of confidence when I'm gone. I'm here playing baseball. That I know that they're out changing the world, and I'm so grateful for them. And when I'm into something, I'm all in. So I try to have good time management, and I try to invest in what matters in me. And if it doesn't matter, then I don't really spend time doing it. And so I try to do the things that I can do and find help in the other areas. And so if it's a weekend during football season, then I'll call ahead, try to get the cages locked in, go and train, and then go turn my mind to football and then watch it. And I love that, and it's still a huge passion of mine. And so just go back and forth, but really do things that I love, and try not to really waste a lot of time with things that don't matter. I feel like I feel like one of the biggest tragedies in life is when you look back and you realize you were successful at something that really doesn't matter, and I don't want to do that. I want to go after things that really matter.
How important is it to you doing this clinic later on today with the Special Olympics?
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I loved it last year, and so many of these young boys and girls will be a lot of our kings and queens from Night to Shine, and just right down the street at Night to Shine, we had over 350 kings and queens there, and so it'll be awesome. Get a chance to see them, and I know some will be upset because they don't understand why I didn't come to this Night to Shine here. Well, because there's a lot of them around the world, thankfully, and it's hard to get to all of them. But it'll be fun, and just to be out there and put smiles on kids' faces and be able to understand that if all we did was try to play and win or lose a game, then still doesn't matter. It's like what I said, it's being successful in something doesn't matter. But if you can transcend that, the platform that you're given through football or baseball or something, and you can take that to inspire or change or encourage another life, then you did something that truly matters, in my opinion. And that's ultimately what I want to have in my life.
Tim, when you sat down and decided to pursue this baseball,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there were certain expectations that you had. As you look at where you are right now, do you feel like you've exceeded those expectations, matched them, fallen a little short?
Gosh, I don't know. It's a good question. You always have a goal of trying to get to the highest level. So, or a thought process of, man, that'd be so cool. So obviously I haven't done that. But there's been some times where, I thought, man, this is going well. And some of the crazy things of, that's been really cool. My first pitch got to hit a home run, and almost every first thing I've gotten to do a home run until this last year, which that didn't really go very well. I think I was 0 for 4 on that day. So we'll try to forget that one and move on to the next. And so, yeah, there's been a lot of ups and downs. I would say when you think about it, or the goal, you don't really think about it, all the lows, and there definitely has been some lows and some sucky times, but there's also been some awesome times, and I think it's, such a, I think, good picture of life, too. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it's kind of balancing them and handling them. So I would say, to answer your question in a roundabout way, I think there's kind of both.
Did you hear from the XFL when they were starting up?
Yeah, there was some communication.
Were you not interested at all, or did you hear them out, or how did that go?
We had a couple conversations, but it was pretty clear that this was, I love what they're doing. I think it has a chance to have success, and I think that's great. And so I think there needs to be a place for a lot of players that are really good and should and could be playing in the NFL and are better than a lot of NFL players. So, and there's a chance they're going to be seen. So I think it's awesome, and I think it's good for a lot of guys that are going to get a spot in the NFL roster because they're going to show a team that they're worth it. But for me, this is what I wanted to do and pursue it and be all in and just, yeah.
And you said regarding baseball, it's not something I want to do forever. Have you thought about how long you're going to keep at it?
Not really. It was never, there's so many things I want to do. A Night to Shine Foundation, speaking, traveling the world, trying to create change, all that stuff I want to do. It's a lifetime calling for me, so it's much more than baseball. But when I'm 50, I can't come back and do this, So I think that's why it's part of a season and a time, and I still feel like I'm in that season. And so I don't know when I'll feel like I'm out, but I think there's a lot of things that come into play. Obviously, being married, all of the goals with our foundation, family time, Dad and his Parkinson's, all that comes into play of just trying to, do what you feel is right in the time.
Daniel Jones, yay or nay?
I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he's coached really well in college, and I think he will continue to improve. I think continuing to get him more weapons and confidence is pretty critical.
What about Darnold?
I think he's super talented. I think he's one of the most talented young quarterbacks in the league. I think playing with confidence is one of the biggest parts of the game for a quarterback, and it's it's hard sometimes. It's just like hitting. It's all of a sudden I throw a couple of picks and I'm doubting, did I really see the defense? Is it really was it cover 4 or did it really roll to a cover 3? Now I'm questioning it. I'm questioning my ability, and I think, he's got to get off to a rhythm and build that confidence and people behind him where it feels like, you know what, no matter what I see, I believe it's right. Whether it is or it isn't, I got to believe it. And then the people around you are going to believe it. And I think that's a big part of that is that culture has to believe that they can win, and he has to believe that he's the guy. And I think talent and everything, but I think it's that momentum and confidence is going to be huge.
Gonna be pretty happy with Coach Mullen.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. I think it's only going to get better. Their recruiting class is a good recruiting class, one of the better recruiting classes in the last decade. But ultimately, what matters if it's 4 or 5 stars, it matters if they can help the team, which I think he does a really good job of finding guys that he believes he sees something in them and can fill a spot. And I think they'll make a run at the East this year. It'd be fun to watch them in Georgia compete.
Thank you, Tim.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. God bless.
Yeah, football.